The Zerologon vulnerability allows for a hacker to take complete control of a domain controller. It has a 10 of 10 for the severity by the Common Vulnerability Scoring System, or CVSS. A hacker would most likely use this attack as a means to move laterally inside an organization's network. This vulnerability has been reported by the FBI to have been used by Russian state-sponsored actors who targeted various U.S. government networks in the upcoming of the 2020 election. Microsoft has already released the first patch in August of 2020, with the second patch expected to be released in February of 2021. The Zerologon vulnerability was discovered by a Dutch cybersecurity researcher at Sakura. He found serious flaws in the AES-128 encryption algorithm, which is used by the NetLogon remote protocol. The NetLogon remote protocol is used by domain controllers to authenticate machines to a domain. Step 1 is to send a string of zeros to a domain controller which spoofs a computer on the network. It achieves this by sending a zero client challenge of 8 bytes to the domain controller. The domain controller sends 8 random bytes back as a response. These challenges, along with credentials stored locally, are used to create a session key. 1 out of 256 times the result will be a ciphertext of all zeros. The attacker never even needs to know the session key. What makes matters worse is the domain controller allows an unlimited number of requests without ever denying access. The second step is to disable RPC signing and sealing. Once signing and sealing is turned off, messages are sent in the clear and the hackers would now be able to take any action they want. All the hacker now needs to do is change the password to a blank value. We can see this exploit in action using Wireshark. We first see in this example the attacker was able to exploit the vulnerability on the 4th request. Remember that every 1 out of 256 times the attacker will get this right. Here is the first challenge request being sent from the attacker to the domain controller with all zeros. Here is the server's random challenge response. As you may recall, the next step is to disable RPC signing and sealing, which you can see here. Finally, the attacker sends a 0 timestamp combined with the ciphertext to reset the password. The server never even attempts to validate the timestamp. Zerologon is a dangerous vulnerability. If left unpatched, organizations are at serious risk. If you haven't applied the August 2020 patch from Microsoft, you need to do so immediately.